This time we're going to be looking at some substitution. So in this part, they'll give you some properties of different pronumerals, and all your task is to simply substitute those values into the right pronumerals. So I'll show you what I mean. Starting with question 18. If x equals to 5, y equals to -6, and z equals to 8. So they give you what x, y, and z is. You want to evaluate x over y. So what's x? X is 5. What's y? It's -6. So you simply put -5/6, and that's the answer. You don't have to worry about changing it into a decimal or anything. Just leave it like that. Okay, so that's the answer. So it's very, very simple. B, x plus y plus z. We know that x is 5, y is -6, and z is 8. So you just add them up. So plus and minus, that becomes a minus, doesn't it? So 5 minus 6, which is -1, plus 8, well, I just change it to a negative first, 7. Okay, so just make sure plus minus is negative. You know how to change that, right? And then C, x minus y minus z. So we know x is 5, y is -6, z is 8. So remember, minus minus makes a plus. So I change that into a plus. So be careful with your signs. And then 5 plus 6 minus 8, it's simply 3. You guys can do that calculation, yeah? And that's it. So just be careful with the signs. D, okay. Fraction, trying to put the right numbers in the right place first. So x plus y plus z, we got that in part B, didn't we? It was 7. Now x, y, z is x times y times z. Now 5 times -6 is -30, and then times 8 is -240, and you can take the negative out to the front. Doesn't really matter where you put the negative. So that's the answer. Just leave it as a fraction in simplest form. Okay. E, okay, this time we're going to go 5 times x minus 4 times y plus 2 times z. So it's going to look like this. So 5 times 5, 4 times -6, and 2 times 8. So do them one by one. 5 times 5 is 25, 4 times -6 is -24, and 2 times 8 is 16. Now you can see that negative makes a plus. So that's what I want you to do first. And add them up, guys. You can do the calculation. What do you think it is? 65. That's the answer. Okay, the last step should be very easy for you guys. I want you to especially be careful with the signs and take it step by step. Okay? Now F, okay, again, put the right numbers in the right place and go step by step. So x is 5, y is -6, y is -6, z is 8. Z 8, x 5. Okay? And you can see that the negative, I just put that negative out the front. Doesn't really matter where the negative is. Just remember, guys, -5/6 is the same as 5/6, and is also the same as -5/6. They all mean the same thing, so it doesn't really matter where the negative goes. So don't get confused with the signs. So that's why I put that negative just out the front there, so it looks a little bit more neater. And you can see plus minus makes negative, and that's how I did it, yeah? And now, guys, make it into a single fraction just to make the same denominator first of all. So the lowest common multiple of 6, 4, and 5 is 60, isn't it? So that's why I use 60. So here I times by 10. So 5 times 10 is 50. 4, what did I do? 60 divided by 4, we've multiplied that by 3 to get 45. 6 divided by 5, 12, times 8, you get 96. That was just easy stuff that we did in year 8 and stuff, didn't we? So that was just easy, readjusting the fractions to make the same denominator. Okay, so make sure you find that lowest common multiple, and then all we need to do is gather our numerators. So minus 50 minus 45 plus 96 will be 1. So 1/60 is the final answer. Okay, and that's it. Now 19, okay, this time we're going to use A, B, and C. They give you that A is 2, B is -3, and C is -1. First of all, we're going to do A times B. AB is A times B. So we do 2 times -3, which is -6. Easiest question. B, AB squared. Now guys, remember, when it has a squared, it's only squaring the B. It's not squaring A and B. It's squaring just B. Okay? Unless they have a bracket here. If they have a bracket like that, then they're squaring A times B. But this one, they don't have a bracket, so it's just B squared only. So A times B squared. So A is 2 and B is negative 3, so we're just squaring the negative 3. And negative 3 squared is negative 3 times negative 3, which makes positive 9. Just remember guys, anything squared is positive. So negative 3 squared is 9, and then you do 18. That's the answer. Okay? C, 3 times B times C. So it's 3 times B times C. Yeah? And we know that negative negative makes a positive, and 3 times 1 is 9. So it's just positive 9. D, okay, A plus B plus C over C. We know that A is 2, B is negative 3, C is negative 1. And we know that C is negative 1. Now, 2 minus 3 minus 1 is negative 2 over negative 1, which is just positive 2. That's the answer. Yeah, negative negative makes positive, 2 over 1 is just 2. This is just very easy stuff, isn't it? E, okay, be very careful guys, because you need to take this step by step to avoid your silly mistakes. So we've got 3 times A squared, so cubed, 2 cubed, minus 4 times B, which is negative 3, and then minus 2 times negative 1 squared, because C is negative 1. On the next step, trying to do a little bit more simplification. 2 cubed is 8, 8 times 3 is 24. Negative 4 times negative 3 is positive 12. Well, this one, first of all, what's this, guys? That's just positive 1. Negative 1 squared is positive 1. So negative 2 times 1 is negative 2. 24 plus 12 minus 2 is? What's that, guys? Simply 34. And that's the answer. Okay. F, all right, put the right numbers in the right pronumerals. So A is 2, C, negative 1, C, negative 1, B, negative 3, B, negative 3, A, 2. You just be careful, just don't make mistakes, don't get confused with one another. And you know that negative negative 1 is positive 1, so 2 over positive 1 is 2. Now 6 times negative 1 is negative 6. Negative 6 divided by negative 3 is positive 2. Here, negative 3 cubed is negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3. So this time, it's going to be negative 27. Okay, so with cubics, you can still have negatives remaining. If you're cubing a negative, you still get negative. Now see how here, guys, the 2's you can actually just cancel out. So we just have negative 27 left. But we have negative 27, which makes positive 27. Negative negative is a positive. So 2 plus 2, which is 4, plus 27 is simply 31. Okay, the last part is I don't really worry about you guys. I think you guys can try that yourself. But this part where you simplify, add in extra steps if you need to, guys. Okay, this is where everyone makes silly mistakes. Alright, so substitution, there's not really much to it. I think it's pretty simple. So watch out for that. And always, I do recommend you to try the practice questions related to this topic, because this is a topic where you need a lot of practice to get familiar with. Okay, because the point of this topic is to get quicker and quicker. Okay, so that's the end of the arithmetic section.